And what's going on, everybody? It's on and off the field with Durf and Dylan. Durf, how are you today?
Doing good. A lot better now that the numbing kind of went away here just in time, so I'm not sitting here drooling or being able to not be able to talk tonight, so that's good.
The numbing? What did you do today?
I was at the dentist this afternoon.
Oh, I did not know this. This is news to me.
Yeah. I was at the dentist after work, and then they were going to work on 4 teeth, and they said, "Oh no, it's only 2." So then they gave me Novocaine for 4 though. So I was extra numb. But right. Yeah, other than that, I've been doing pretty good.
All righty. Well, that's good that you're here. We're glad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and we're in the middle of trying to set up a draft, Yahoo Sports, and let me tell you, it's an absolute disaster. Just trying to time all this up because we still got to open up our show a little bit, but we also have to, do things. So I'm trying to send a message real quick to the guys. We're bringing in a couple people to do our mock draft with us. But everything is messy. So we're just trying our best. That's all you can ask for. Just try your best, right?
Yeah, that's all you can.
Oh, we got people sending links. Yeah.
Wait, maybe.
I'm in. No. He says. Yahoo Fantasy Sports, you need to get your stuff in order because this is a mess.
It says my draft is loading on Fantasy Pros. Oh. I made it.
Well, one person's got to figure it out because the rest of us don't.
Well, it hasn't finished loading yet, so there's no guarantees here.
Let me go ahead and inform everybody about where you can do all the fun stuff around out the field. Share, subscribe, follow, and like. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Most of them are at OOTF Podcast. You can also go to YouTube for uncut episodes, and our live shows are there. We're live there right now, including Facebook. Rate and review the show on iTunes. We really need those rate and reviews. It's a lot of fun to read them, too. It's a great time. You can go to onoutthefield.com for all those links and all of our fundraising efforts. We're right now doing Feeding America, and for this Fantasy Football League, we're raising money for the Boys and Girls Club of America. You can also go to rtfsportsnetwork.com. You can catch On and Off the Field Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's also a lot of great blogs over there. And one of our blog writers is actually joining us for this mock draft, I believe. I think Matt writes blogs. I guess we'll ask him when he gets in here. I think he's wrote a few, if I am not mistaken. So this is our mock draft night, as we have said multiple times already, for our On and Out the Field Fantasy Football League. If you want to join into the league, it is $20 buy-in. It all goes towards charity, and the date is forthcoming still. It'll probably be like end of August, most likely. I kind of go on vacation around that point, so I don't know if we'll do it before or after my vacation. It'll probably be before, because by the time I get back, the first NFL game is like, September 10th? I think I get back just around then. So it'll most likely be before. So before August 28th, most likely is our draft date. So we have a quick video for everybody because we are 2 weeks in a row champions of the Maps Media Next Best Podcast competition and elimination competition that'll crown the audience's favorite podcast. So make sure you're following us on social media so you can help vote us. And everyone's been doing that already. They're helping vote for us so we can win week in and week out. We won last week. We won the week before that. So this week, our goal was to teach everybody something. We had to teach. It had to be a lesson. People had to learn something. So we decided to take the privilege to teach everybody how to golf. That's what we wanted to give you, is give some tips on golfing. So we're going to play you a quick video on how to golf, and this is what you can vote on to help us win this week's competition. So without further ado, here we go.
part, you don't want to do a sumo squat here. So that's tip number 2. So now, the key thing here is once you're all squared up, and you have your ready to go, then the important part is to keep your eye on the ball. Well, I watched it go into the creek over there, so.
All right, so now we're kind of in the middle of the fairway here. Well, I'm not in the middle of the fairway, we're in the middle of the course. But here's your 3 tips with your irons now. We're a good distance away. I got a 3-iron here. I'm under a tree. Tip number 1, don't hit the tree. You're gonna anyways, but try not to. Tip number 2, always address the ball now. You know where you're at. Now you gotta go back to the ball. Every single hit, address the ball. Mr. Ball, you're gonna go that way whether you like it or not. And number 3, hit it. All right, we're a little closer now, so we're going to use pitching wedges. But I'm not going to because me and my pitching wedge aren't on speaking terms, so I'm using another loft wedge. Now, when you're closer like this, normally they put oogly booglies around the hole, like sand traps and water. So tip number 1, don't hit those. Now that we've addressed the area, now you address the ball. Hello, Mr. Ball. You're going to go in the hole. Probably not, but you got to have high hopes when you're out here golfing. 3rd tip, final one, you hit it, but not as hard.
All right, now that we're on the final area of the golf course, of the hole, now we're on the green. So it's a lot shorter of a grass, like a carpet, nice rolls, nice and easy. Well, now this is where you use a putter. That's tip number 1. Make sure to use a putter. If you're wondering about this, it's not a miniature golf putter, but an Acushnet bullseye from the 60s. So, like always, address the ball. Mr. Ball, I'm going to put you in that cup up there. So you come up. And a lot of putters have lines on them to kind of help you where you're aiming. So, shoulder width apart. And just one nice swing. Hope you stopped recording that.
Well, I hope these tips helped you today. If they didn't, we kind of understand why. We suck at golf too. But thanks for joining us. Had to unmute myself there, but yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We do suck at golf, and I did want to mention one thing. When I hit that shot with the loft wedge, the 3rd video in, not gonna lie, that was a sexy shot. I kind of killed it. Landed that ball right in the middle of the green. I was proud of that. We actually managed to get everybody in a room.
Wow, nice.
I think everybody that's supposed to be in this mock draft is in this mock draft. I don't even know if I set up the mock draft correctly. But it's a 12-person one. Yeah, we got 8 minutes before it starts.
8. Mine says 4.
Really?
Yeah.
8. Are you Frederick? Are you picking 3rd, or are you in the wrong room?
No, I'm picking 3rd.
Huh? Are you in hurry up offense? 8850737.
885. Yep. Yep.
Huh? Why does mine say 8?
I don't know.
That's weird. Boy.
Maybe
Boy, oh boy, Yahoo.
This is going to be a crash and burn.
This is going to be a hardcore crash and burn. Ashley came in, said word.
Nice.
Maybe to our video, maybe. We're okay at golf. We're not too bad, but let's bring in Matt and Kyle so we can kill some time before this before we're actually supposed to start, and then I can ask them how much time they're seeing is left on theirs as well. Kyle and Matt.
What's up, guys?
What's going on? How you guys doing?
I'm
good,
We're
man. Fine.
Excited about this mock draft. Been thinking about it all day.
All day? I wish I had that much time on my hands to think about a mock draft all day.
I did a real draft already today.
A real draft?
Wow.
It's the beginning of August. Holy cow.
Yeah, I've been doing best ball drafts like every 3 days.
So I think it's official that you're going to be participating in the on and off the field fantasy league.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to participate in our league, just have zero expectations of winning at this point, because Kyle will be in it. We're the rest of us are just here for fun.
Yeah.
He's going to kill us. Matt, was I correct? You write blogs for the network, correct?
I do not write blogs. I have a fantasy football podcast. It is on the network at 6:00 on Fridays, I believe. Now is my new time slot. I release it Thursday night, so you can get it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Pretty much as soon as I release it Thursday night, usually around 10:00. All
right, what's the name of the show?
It is called the Kickin' or Stickin' Fantasy Football Podcast. This season, I think I'm going to be doing a little less fantasy talk and a little bit more on the gambling side of things. I've gotten pretty hard into the parlays, and last year I got pretty lucky with the anytime touchdown scorer parlays. Hit on a lot of tight end scorers, so I'll be getting into that and, just breaking down like the top 24 at running back, wide receiver, the top 12 at tight end and quarterbacks, and just looking at matchups really.
Interesting. Nice. All right. And I've considered bringing like a gambling aspect into our show now that it's kind of becoming more popular, but I kind of have to look into it a little bit more before we get to that part, adding it to the show. But I've always had an itch for gambling, not going to lie.
Yeah, man, it's fun.
It's a dangerous road to go down.
It is. But I mean, with all these promos now, you sign up and they give you like $500 for free. As long as you're responsible and you're not an idiot with it, it can be a lot of fun. I got 2 $5 parlays in tonight on some baseball tickets. So let's go, Luis Castillo. I need those strikeouts tonight, baby.
So did your guys' mock draft start yet?
I got 15 seconds.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so it's counting down. I still have 4 minutes left, so I'm very curious what's going to happen here in a couple seconds.
Oh, nice. 'Cause I'm at a minute.
Well, Dylan, you're picking first, right?
Yeah, so that's why this is going to get real interesting real quick.
Oh, draft is now loading.
Oh, draft is loading. All right. Yeah, here we go. So it was just lying to me saying 4 minutes. That's fine.
I noticed that you gave yourself the number 1 pick.
Yep, I did. You're welcome for that. Yes, I did do that, and I did it on purpose, and I do not care. High draft picks in chat. What is this? Do we start? Are we starting? We're on the clock.
I think you're good to go, man.
On and off the field, mock draft 2020 is official.
Let's do it.
And I'm picking first. Suck it.
Yeah.
How do you even pick players in Yahoo? How the heck do you pick a person?
You got 2 minutes until the draft starts. It gives everybody time to come in.
Oh, starting. Oh, okay.
So just to be sure, we are in fact going to go about this as if it's a PPR league.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
That is what our official league is going to be.
Okay.
Matt, do you want to be in the on and off the field fantasy football league? I don't have you on here.
Yeah, man. If you guys have
on us.
If you guys
we
have
have all the room in the world.
Count me in, man. I'm in 9 leagues already this year, but I'm all for getting in a 10th. So let's do it.
Well, let's add it on there. So we're at 10 people officially.
Nice,
sweet.
And Kyle, I know you're in on it, but Ryan, your brother's in the mock draft with us. Does he want to participate in the actual league? I guess you'll have to ask him for us.
I'm sure he could go for it. I'll ask him in the Facebook chat real quick.
Okay. Because he's here. And I know we have one of my favorite human beings, Brandon, I think, from Strikeout Beer podcast on the RTS Sports Network. He's drafting with us. And I think that's everyone. I think he's in there. And then I think that's all the people that we know that are participating.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Ryan, Kyle, Brandon, and Matt. So 6 of us. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good showing. That's more than I expected.
Is this a money league or is this just for fun?
This is a $20 buy-in, but it all goes to charity. And
great.
then throughout the league, we're still trying to create merchandise. So basically the winner's just probably going to get some merchandise and something fun for winning.
Cool.
So, yeah, we'll figure that out. I'm not sure.
Is it kind of like the winner gets to pick what charity the money goes to, that kind of thing?
It's at oh my god, it's 30-second picks. There we go. Easy. The money is going to the Boys and Girls Club of America. It's our current fundraising effort that we have going on for the show.
Awesome.
It was actually suggested by one of our listeners that we start a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club of America. So
nice.
That's why we picked him. Fred, you're up.
Yeah,
I picked Christian McCaffrey first.
I took Michael Thomas.
Who picked second? Is that a rando? Kip, that's a random person.
Yeah.
Kip took Saquon.
Yeah.
And you went wide receiver first round. Michael Thomas.
How are you going wide receiver, the 3rd overall pick?
Because it's a PPR league, and this dude has caught like 150 passes over the past 2 years every year.
Plus, I'm at the end of the 2nd round, so I'm going to struggle to find something then.
Interesting.
I don't hate the pick.
No, I don't hate it either. I mean, I might hate it a little bit. Wide receivers in the 1st round are pretty uncommon, but since PPR and he did catch over 100 balls last year, it's not a terrible option to go. If you're going to take a wide receiver, that's the one you're going to take.
He's the guy to go with, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be nice for the mock draft, but when we do the real draft, I already told you that I was going to give everybody a hard time for their pick.
We got all the time in the world. These are 30-second picks. Ryan's actually up, but he's going to take Derrick Henry, I think, just based off of running out of time.
Yeah, I got Brandon right now.
Brandon goes wide receiver. Devontae Adams, 8th overall. I don't know if Brandon is a Packers fan.
He's the consensus 2nd best receiver.
I guess
a lot.
I mean, it kind of
goes like 6 or 7 after the top 5 running backs.
Which is so a little early for Fred, but generally he's still going in that. He's still going 1st round a little later in the 1st round. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes at 9th overall with Damian Williams going out. Oh, that was you? Okay.
Yep, that was me.
Nice.
All right.
I'm going to go with the young guy in Philly.
Question. Oh, who'd you? Oh, Miles Sanders. Matt's going Miles Sanders out of Philly, 1st round, 11th overall.
I think he's going to catch a good amount of passes this year. I like him.
That's a solid pickup. And I know going back to the what's his name, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but Damian Williams being out for the year after he opted out, people were wondering if he was going 1st round in drafts, and I guess he is.
He's pretty.
I'm guessing his ADP went up a lot.
He's pretty much jumped up right after the big 5. So after CMC, Saquon, Zeke, Kamara, and Cook, it's usually him, Henry, or Mixon as the next one off the board in that tier, at least for running back.
Yeah, had Josh Jacobs go.
I took George Kittle ahead of Travis Kelce because of the way the wide receiver situation in San Diego or San Francisco right now. I think George Kittle's gonna he's gonna catch a lot of balls this year, and I think by the end of this year we see Kittle take over that number 1 spot from Kelce.
I mean, that's where I ranked him when we did our fantasy football league, our fantasy football series. When it came to tight ends, I put Kittle over Kelce, ranked number 1. It's it's a 1A 1B scenario, but
right,
you're never going to go wrong either way. And Austin Eckler, Kyle takes Austin Eckler 16th overall. Kind of takes my pick. I love Eckler. He's my guy. I love him. Who did Ryan take? He took DeAndre Hopkins 18th overall, hitting wide receiver. We have Strikeout Beer tuning into the show. Sup, boys? What's up, Strikeout Beer? And we got one of the Strikeout Beer boys drafting with us. Fred's up. Who's it gonna be? Aaron Jones went off the board, and Travis Kelce at 21st overall went off the board. I was considering sharing my screen, but I didn't know if that would probably take up too much bandwidth
You could
to
just
share
put
my
your
screen.
screen up over everything and get rid of the videos.
Oh, is it my turn now? I heard a sound. It is my
Yeah,
turn.
it's
Oh,
your-
Mahomes, 23. Nice.
Wow.
I've routinely been seeing Mahomes and Lamar go at the end of the second or the third round.
Yeah.
interesting.
Huh.
Sometimes middle of the second, depending on how aggressive people be.
Mhm.
This team seems to be a little more complacent to just take running backs and receivers, since Kelce also fell to 21. So
Now, 24, Kenny Galladay. Didn't he opt out for this year? He won't be playing in 2020. Didn't I see
I
that?
hope that's fake news.
Okay.
now Damian Williams was really the only fantasy player of consequence who opted out.
Hmm.
Yeah, and unless you're looking at defensive players, then you have to look at the Patriots losing Patrick Chung and Hightower. Hightower's become less of a factor lately, but losing Patrick Chung over the middle of the field there, that takes a big hit. And then they lost all of their starting linebackers in free agency. That Patriots defense is going to go from first ranked overall from last season to absolutely, I would imagine pretty terrible this upcoming year.
I took Melvin Gordon, if anyone wanted to know.
Oh, I am curious. I took Lamar Jackson. I wanted Patrick Mahomes, but someone took him right before my 2 picks.
Mhm.
Kip. Whoever Kip is, you son of a gun. Melvin Gordon. Yeah, I like Melvin Gordon. I'm just curious what they're going to end up doing with Philip Lindsay, if he can somehow manage to get back into a starting role, if they split carries. Kind of the same scenario in Cleveland.
Mhm.
I'm weary of Nick Chubb strictly because of Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
I was waiting to see who was going to take Chris Carson. Some sucker named Florida Gator took Chris Carson. You can have him. Filthy. Juju Smith-Schuster went to Ryan. I don't trust the Steelers offense. That's why I actually passed on James Conner as well. I don't trust anyone on that side of the ball for the Steelers. Amari Cooper for Kyle. You like Amari Cooper in that offense, huh?
I do. Dallas, one of the best offenses last year, and they got even more weapons this year. So
Yeah, they just got done saying.
But he said that he's going to leave the play calling with Kellen Moore. So offense should be about the same as it was last year. And what Kellen Moore was calling actually mirrors up pretty well with what Mike McCarthy was doing at the end of his time in Green Bay. So a lot to like there.
Yeah, that made me nervous about Zeke's fantasy production with Mike McCarthy being there. What's going to happen to Zeke when you have a pass-happy offense like that?
Almost at all.
You don't think you'll still think he'll get his carries, break 1,000, 1,200 yards maybe?
Yeah. I think his touchdown upside is the highest in the league this year.
Oh,
Matt, who'd you take? Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, I took him a little earlier than I would have liked to, but my strategy here, picking at the end of the round, obviously you're either going to be reaching for somebody or you're going to be taking somebody that's falling. So, I went with Calvin Ridley, and I was going to go with Cooper Kupp, but he just went. So let's go with Tyler Lockett.
Ooh.
I will say I was
right.
hoping that Calvin Ridley would make it back to me when I took Amari Cooper.
So you both like I had Calvin Ridley last year in my team, and he had his ups and downs, but he's supposed to be he's going up this year. He's supposed to have a little bit more consistency in the offense this year, from my understanding.
Well, they got rid of Austin Hooper at tight end, so there's some vacated targets there. And if you remember the Chris Godwin hype last year, when everyone recognized his talent and finally saw the opportunity coming to him, this is kind of that same player this year, going in the same range in the 4th to 6th round of most leagues, depending on league size, and similar opportunity going for him.
And then you took, what's his first name? Terry
McLaurin. Yep.
For Washington. Yeah, he had a little bit of a breakout year, like a mini breakout year, as much as you can have. No, I guess it's not breakout as his rookie year, but as much as a big year you can have in that offense for Washington. So that's a solid pickup. And then DK Metcalf is off the board now. Ryan actually took DK Metcalf from me. So that's a little sad, but I will somehow survive. I'll probably end up taking DK Metcalf's rookie wide receiver twin from last year. If anyone can guess who that is, we'll see if he can make it 2 more picks.
Who's that? So DK Metcalf's twin of a rookie wide receiver?
Yeah, who do you think that would be? Yeah. Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
Oh, and A.J. Brown goes off the board right before my pick, naturally. So who do I want? Boy, what do I want? I have so many options. Oh boy, they just took a rookie running back for Baltimore, so I don't know where that's going to end up.
You got 8 seconds.
That's their only offense is Leonard Fournette and Jacksonville.
Fournette, man.
That's about as big as a gamble as you'll get, but man. And then we got another pick back to back here since we're doing snake draft. I'll actually take the opposite of who you took. Michael Gallup for Dallas. I don't remember who quoted it, but Dallas said there's no reason why they shouldn't have 3 1,000-yard receivers over there with Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and their rookie they brought in.
I don't know how that can happen if you're going to give the same amount of work to Zeke as he's been getting. I don't know how you can have 3 1,000-yard receivers with Zeke still, doing his thing. It's going to be really interesting to see how that offense works in Dallas for sure.
Yeah, something's going to have to give. When I saw someone said that, someone's going to be losing targets. Someone's going to be losing yardage. It's just a matter of who.
I think it was one of the players who said it.
So I think it was Amari.
From a coach. Yeah, that's what I thought too, is that it did come from Amari.
Right.
Here, hold on. It's my pick.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell just got taken at 56th overall by Brandon of Strikeout Beer.
That's a good pick.
I think this was meant for me. If you don't grab Russell Wilson, I'll take him from you. I was going to take Russell Wilson, but Lamar Jackson was still there. So I had to take Lamar. I feel if this was my real draft, I would have taken Russell Wilson. But since this is just a mock draft, I'll go and take Lamar, and I'll be fine. My feelings really aren't that hurt. Kareem Hunt off the board. Kyle takes Kareem Hunt. We'll see who has the better year, Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. In PPR, it's not a bad option. He's the receiving option out of the backfield. At 58th overall, they took Kyler Murray, some guy named Steve. I don't know who Steve is, but he took Kyler Murray, which is a great option. I don't know how much value you get out of him at 58th overall. In the 5th round? I guess it's not terrible. A 5th round pick for Kyler Murray. That's not a bad option for running for a quarterback. But Matthew took your boy, Durf.
Wow. All right.
Your boy.
That's all right.
What do you see in Devin Singletary after they drafted Zach Moss as well over there?
I think Singletary is going to be just as involved as he was last year. I think he's going to see more targets than he did last year, maybe not as many carries. I think he's going to be the guy on the field on 3rd down. He's going to get those super valuable touches. So I like him as my 6th pick, my 5th pick.
Nice.
It's not a bad option. I can see the same thing that happens in Cleveland developing in Buffalo, where Singletary can be the Kareem Hunt and Zach Moss if he produces. I know he's a rookie, but if he comes out as a bowling ball as described. He could be the Nick Chubb. Obviously, that's a lofty comparison, but just the play styles and how they could use them is what I mean.
I've been pretty out on Devin Singletary because I think Moss is going to take enough for early down work and the goal line work, and that's really just going to leave Singletary with the role he had last year. But
if this was a non PPR league, I don't think I would have taken Singletary there. But again, because it is PPR, those targets are so valuable for the running backs. And then I took Cam Akers with my next pick because he's another guy that I think he's going to see a lot of targets. I think he's going to fit really well with that offense, that zone blocking scheme that they run in LA. He's probably the rookie running back that I'm actually most excited about in PPR besides Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
And then, I like Cam Akers too. I think I actually wrote somewhere in one of my blogs I wrote about Cam Akers, and they need a new guy. They need a new Todd Gurley over there, and that's going to be their guy to do it. And then Ronald Jones was taken by Kyle. It's a value pick. It's a 6th round. It's not terrible. But if he produces over there, he's going to be the running back in Tampa Bay. He's the guy.
Yeah.
That Marlon Mack pick I do not like whatsoever. He saw, I think it was under 20 targets last year, and he's got a rookie that he's competing with. I'm staying away from Marlon Mack as far as I can in PPR leagues.
Away from him and everything. I just don't think he's going to have a job after week 4 or 5.
Right.
I think he maybe comes in and gets maybe 5-6 carries a game, but I think Jonathan Taylor's going to run away with it. And like you said, they have Naheem Hines there for receiving work if they want to get Taylor off the field for that reason.
I don't love this pick. I did get Darren Waller 72nd overall, which I'm a big fan of Darren Waller. But then I took Matt Breida. I don't know what kind of offense they're going to have down there in Miami. But if they're going to have a featured running back, you'd like to think that's Matt Breida. I think they grabbed Jordan Howard from the Eagles as well. But I'm not sure what else they're going to be throwing in that backfield other than Matt Breida.
They do. I think it's Jordan Howard's backfield, but
I haven't really seen anything I've liked out of Jordan Howard, especially with the Eagles. I don't know if they just didn't use him right. He was good in Chicago, but he left for a reason.
Got injured with the Eagles. He actually had a pretty decent season going before the injury. I mean, he's been 1,000-yard rusher every year of his career, except for last year. He was on pace for 1,000 yards. So he doesn't do a lot of receiving work. That's where Breida will come in. You figure the Dolphins will be losing, so Breida might get some extra work there anyway. It's not a bad pick. It's just not the half of the platoon that I've been targeting.
Yeah, 7th round. I'm not unhappy with it.
No, who knows how the platoon's going to break? I mean, if Breida could stay healthy for the full year and run away with the job, then there's a lot to be gained there. But
the next top-ranked player is Jordan Howard. He's normally drafted 77th by the looks of it, or X rank. He's still sitting out there. So if I wanted a handcuff pick, if he made it to me, but I probably won't get him. I'm a long ways away.
Auto drafting, so he's not making it back to you.
Oh, we do have an auto drafter. That's unfortunate. Well, there goes that. That's all right.
Only 1 through 7 rounds. That's fantastic for a mock draft.
Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty impressive. I didn't realize these were going to be 30-second picks. We don't have much of a show if this mock draft doesn't last the entire show. So
I'll take my time with this pick. How about that?
Yeah, wait until like 2 seconds to make your pick. Yeah, we'll go like strict NFL draft rules where they knew who they were picking at minute 5, but hey, the card was already in, but let's build the anticipation.
So I'm gonna keep up with this whole PPR thing. I'm staying away from Jordan Howard. Will Fuller is too much of a deep threat. I'm gonna take James White. I think he's gonna catch enough passes for him to pay off as my my 8th player picked. I think this is.
That's solid. James White's a hero. Oh, we just lost another person. G left. Whoever G is. So. Someone named KC drafted Deebo Samuel. I've seen mixed reports on Debo.
Yeah, Debo's going to be out for at least 4 weeks to start the season.
So that he is going to be out to start the season for a couple weeks, and then the kind of injury he has, you can't cut like that anymore. It's everything
one of the
just
worst to come back from in the year. That first season back is always bad. I'm very out on Debo. I'd much rather have the rookie, or like Matt said, with the changeover in receiver, with them losing Emmanuel Sanders and Debo Samuel, and boost George Kittle up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan is awesome. Be interesting to see how he handles the position. But
I love bringing it back up for all of my San Francisco 49ers fans out there. Mainly, I'm looking at Danny Boy. I love shoving it in their faces because I said it in the middle of beginning of the offseason. It was one of the first things I said of the people that needed to be signed. I said, Emmanuel Sanders needs to be re-signed in San Francisco. If they don't, huge mistake. Here we are. They let Emmanuel Sanders walk. They have a rookie. Debo Samuel's going to be injured. That receiving group is a mess. But yeah, Kyle Shanahan might be able to salvage something, but I have a lot of questions.
Especially because they probably could have gotten him for cheaper than what New Orleans paid him. I think he would have stayed there. I think he would have been happy to stay there for $6-7 million as opposed to the 10 that he got from New Orleans. Yeah, I'm right there with
in the
you.
Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't want to stay there.
Yeah, and it's Kyle Shanahan's such an awesome offensive mind. You know he's going to get him the ball.
So let's recap some picks here. Matt took J.K. Dobbins for Baltimore. I was considering about taking Mark Ingram earlier in one of these rounds, but J.K. Dobbins was the reason I didn't pick Mark Ingram. I didn't know what the scenario would be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like as much upside from these young running backs as I can get. I got Sanders, Singletary, Akers, Dobbins, got a lot of young guys. Now I'm probably going to have to go pretty hard on the wide receivers here. I still don't have a quarterback, which I'm totally fine with in a PPR league, so I'm liking my team so far.
We had back-to-back New York Giant wide receiver picks. Brandon took Darius Slayton, and Ryan took Sterling Shepard. So Slayton actually went before Shepard. I find that more interesting than anything.
Is that our first defense, too?
Oh, a defense one.
That was the auto pick.
Oh,
okay.
So those two are going to fill out their starters, and then they'll jump in and start taking the top back.
Oh.
Yeah, so Catherine auto-drafted the San Francisco 49ers defense. So by the looks of it, I don't think any of us are going to be getting the Pittsburgh defense either. That's unfortunate if we have auto-drafters.
Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh was picked right after mine.
Yep, there you go. So you took Jordan. Oh, who did you take, Fred?
I took Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones. Yeah, I got the other guy there. I took Galladay. And you took the guy opposite of him, and then Kip took Julian Edelman, who was my pick. So I'm just getting every single time before my pick, I'm getting someone stolen from me. So that's a lot of fun.
You have the next two picks, so you're like double dipping here.
You know who I like? Just for some fun.
Tebow?
I'm big on Christian Kirk this year.
I like him too.
I think he's a sleeper for that team for a lot of people.
At their respective draft positions, I would much rather have Christian Kirk than DeAndre Hopkins.
Agreed.
Wow. You would rather have
at their
Christian
draft
Kirk
spots. So
their draft spots. Okay.
Christian Kirk at the 8-9 round, then be drafting DeAndre Hopkins in the second round. Just don't know what he's going to look like on that team. I don't think he's going to get 150 targets like he was getting with the Texans for so many years.
I think he's going to be drawing a lot of attention. You have to look at Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald at some point too. But Christian Kirk, I bet as soon as they got DeAndre Hopkins, the first words out of my mouth were Christian Kirk. This dude is going to eat this season because he already had a big year last year, and Christian Kirk and Kyler went to the same college, so they already had a connection.
Did they really? I did not.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Cue the sound effect. The more you know. Where the little rainbow there. Yeah. Ooh, Hayden Hurst. Yeah. Oh, that's who I took. Yeah.
That's what you took.
I was like, Hayden Hurst. That's a great pick. Oh, that was me. Yeah. Yeah. Matt Ryan's already been talking about Hayden Hurst and how much he likes him.
Yeah. So if I didn't take a tight end early, I was going to be targeting Hayden Hurst because I think he's going to have an awesome year.
Well, if Darren Waller has a down year and Hayden Hurst has a big year, I have both ones. So I have two very interchangeable tight ends. I'm happy with that. Who do we got here? Fred took Emmanuel Sanders.
Yep.
That's not a terrible pick. He's going to be opposite of Michael Sanders. He'll definitely have the deep ball route. In PPR, I'm not sure how many looks he'll get. But
it was wasn't sure to go. I was running on a clock, so I'm like, yeah, that's a good safe pick.
Lots of stress. Ryan took Aaron Rodgers. He took his quarterback now, 103rd pick overall. And then Brandon took John Brown.
All night.
You're telling him how bad of a pick that is?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Just
nothing.
That was still on the board. He's not a good fan of the anymore.
He's going to get hurt by week 5, and the rookie will take over. Brandon took John Brown out of Buffalo. Kyle took, Deontay Johnson, I believe is his name?
Deontay Johnson. I was looking at him last round when I took Will Fuller. Decided to opt for the upside that Fuller gives me as my 4th wide receiver. I had a little bit of a luxury there. So if Deontay Johnson's still sitting there in the next round, happy to add him in because I think he's a prime breakout candidate with Big Ben healthy this year.
Interesting. Well, I'm not big on anything Pittsburgh related, especially wide receivers, because I don't believe it. Big Ben came out and said, the words out of his mouth were literally, the injury I had is something that people don't come back from. He tore 3 out of 5 some kind of tendons in his elbow from literally just throwing a football. And then the next sentence was, I feel healthier than ever. Those two statements don't coincide with each other. That doesn't make sense. You can't have one of the worst injuries you can have, and it's probably a career ender, and then say you're as healthy as you feel. That doesn't work.
Trying to hype himself up and make it seem like he's bigger than he was. It's a new injury for a lot of quarterbacks, as far as I'm aware of. I haven't seen a lot of conversation of people saying other guys have had it or what it's been like to come back. And it's different than what pitchers in baseball go under when they have Tommy John. It's similar, but it's different. And when you throw a football, you don't use the same ligament there to get the torque. So a lot of the experts seem to think that he should be fine coming back. I think the bigger issue is that he's still, 38 years old, something like that. I mean, he's still
old as dirt. And if he goes down again,
susceptible to injury, and that would take the whole Pittsburgh offense. But in the meantime, where they were going last year versus where they're going now, you get a 3-round discount on everybody.
That is true. You do get a little bit of a discount there. That is very fair. Ryan said in the comments, with Clayton and Shepard going back to back, what does this group think about them? I don't know if we hit it on it entirely, but I don't know. It's the New York Giants offense. What can you say?
So I think the 3 receivers there are going to have very distinct jobs. They're all going to do their job well. Golden Tate's going to run his routes in the slot and he's going to catch his passes. Darius Slayton's going to be the deep guy and he's going to hit on 1 or 2 deep balls a game. And the other guy will be somewhere in the middle, right? I think the biggest wild card on that team is Evan Ingram. Does he stay healthy, and how much of the offense does he get?
Yeah, that was the big question last year. Well, it wasn't much the question. It was the issue with the Giants last year was injuries. They had to be the most injured team in the league.
Yeah.
I feel like every single starting player on that offense went down with an injury at some point, and some of them for an extended period of time, like Evan Ingram.
Both New York teams.
True, yeah. Good old Sam Darnold out just kissing people. All right, let's recap some picks here. See if I can figure out who picked who. Darrell Henderson. Kyle took Darrell Henderson Jr., the Rams running back. I was big on him too. I was a little bit bigger on him until they drafted Cam Akers, and now we got a little bit of a battle. But Henderson is the veteran presence there now. So I guess you kind of like him there. What, in the 10th round?
Yeah, I mean, this late, he's a pretty good. He should lead the committee early in the year, I think. And I mean, it's Sean McVay offense. We saw last year that they didn't really commit to one guy. Henderson was a well-thought prospect headed into last year. So one kind of down year in the NFL, I don't think really wipes that away. Really, it's just kind of betting on throwing who will show up as a running back, who you can get there. I think Moss might win the job by the end of the year, but if Henderson gets the bulk of the carries for the first 5 weeks, then there's a lot of value in that at the running back position.
If I'm not mistaken, McCole Hardman should not be where he is right now. That could be a mistake on my part, but McCole Hardman is not a bad pickup here in the 11th round. I'm happy with that. He's still
the third receiver on the team. He might need an injury to Watkins or Hill to get more than 3 or 4 targets a game. But, I mean, it's his second year, so we'll see how they use it.
They need an injury, and then you say Sammy Watkins. Yeah. Those two go together.
I like the odds on that one.
So, yeah, I'll take the over.
But, I mean, McCole Hardman was kind of drafted to be the next Tyreek Hill when, Hill was going through those legal issues last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was. So, I mean, if something were to happen to Tyreek Hill, I think McCole Hardman's not a bad pickup at all.
I'm pretty happy with that, especially this late in the game. I mean,
damn,
this is my Miller. I normally go in dry when it comes to real fantasy drafts. So this mock draft for me right now, it's a little odd for me, but I feel like that's solid.
So I'm about to do something I've never done as a Jet fan. Is draft a New England Patriot quarterback. I'm taking Cam Newton. I think with Josh McDaniels there, if you guys remember when Tebow Mania was running wild, who was the head coach of that Denver Broncos team? That was Josh McDaniels. So I think if there's anybody that knows how to get the most out of a quarterback who can run the ball and still keep them safe, it's Cam Newton and it's Josh McDaniels I like to pick.
He was another one that I was looking at. He's been one that I target a lot, really around this stage. And really, it's this stage why you wait at quarterback. I just took Jared Goff. He took Cam Newton. Ben Roethlisberger is still there. Ryan Tannehill's still there. Joe Burrow and Jimmy Garoppolo are still out there. There's a lot of good names of guys who are expected to take pretty strong leaps forward this year. And Ryan Tannehill, if you take his time as a starter in Tennessee last year, I believe he was like the third quarterback in terms of points per game last year, quarterback 3. And he's been going as like quarterback 18 this year. People are down on him. They saw the playoffs where they just went run heavy. I don't think Tennessee can do that for an entire season because Derrick Henry will have nothing left on him to play out his contract that he just signed.
He's going to have to do something eventually. He's going to have to throw the ball.
Well, and he was very good last year. They just steered away from it in the playoffs because they were able to. Their defense played so well that they just rode Henry to the wins. And, I mean, that was fine. It worked really well for them. Took a miracle comeback from the Chiefs to eliminate them from the playoffs. So,
and then Matt took TJ Hawkinson. I'm big on the Hawk. I was big on him last year, and then he went down with that season-ending injury. He was supposed to be our next Gronkowski as far as I was concerned, not just because he's white, but because he's a beast of a tight end.
Yeah, he sure is. I'm excited about that pick as well. I think he's got a ton of upside, especially a guy that I got in the 11th, 12th round, whatever it was. Yeah, man, I think he's going to catch plenty of balls, and he's going to be a big part of that offense for sure, if he could stay healthy.
Yeah, remains to be seen. He's kind of like the Will Dissly of the Lions. Because Will Dissly with the Seahawks catching 5 touchdowns through 4 games last year, and then he goes down with his season-ending injury.
Yeah.
Brandon actually went and took a defense, Baltimore's defense. Interesting. 12th round defense. Baltimore's looking up for defense. I already know what defense I'm aiming for. I'm not going to let you guys know what defense I'm aiming for, but Baltimore wasn't it.
A banner flying behind your head?
No, God, no. Oh, my God, no. That's the furthest one. Yeah, there's a defense. Durf takes Buffalo. He took the one behind his head.
Oh, we started a run on defenses here.
Yeah, I guess people are getting nervous. Yeah, strikeout beer coming in, calling out their own host, Brandon, way too early for defense. Calling them out.
What is there? 3 picks left after this. I'm actually okay with guys paying up to get what we believe are the top defenses at this point in a draft. Normally, in the last round for defense kicker, you take both of them with your last 2 picks. But if you want to pay up and get some of the top 5 at a defensive position and hope that they're a little bit better than everyone else, then by all means do that at this point. It's all just lottery tickets anyway.
Yeah, just for fun, I took that because that's the defense I wanted. Since we were going on a run, why not? I took the defense I wanted. I want the Chargers, baby. That secondary is amazing.
Yeah, along with the really good pass rush as well.
Oh my gosh, that defense on paper, that defense should dominate. And then I went and took Ryan Tannehill because Kyle talked me into it.
There you go.
I had no intentions of picking Ryan Tannehill, but hey, why not? We're here.
The only thing against taking that Chargers defense is how much new talent, how much young talent was brought to the AFC West over the draft this year. That is going to be an explosive, very exciting division to watch for sure.
No, that's a very good point. They have to play the Chiefs twice a year. It's just going to eat away at some of those points. So if we have to go out and find a second defense just to take over when they play teams like that, we might have to go and do that.
Well, with defenses, you actually kind of want them to be involved in either shootout games or blowout games because that means both teams are moving the ball and theoretically passing. So with a defense like the Chargers, if they're involved in shootouts, that gives more opportunities for their guys to come off the edge and get after the quarterback, maybe force sacks, force fumbles, or force interceptions, which is how they feast on scoring. So you might give up more points and lose out there, but you win on the kind of way that they actually score points.
Valid point.
That's a good way to look at it. And then Durf went in and took Jimmy Garoppolo for his backup quarterback. Yeah. I know Danny Boy would be mad at you.
That's okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo, I believe is what we like to call him on the
giant,
show.
Was it a giant piece of garbage or something?
Yeah, something like that. Justin Jefferson in the 12th round for Matt, the new rookie wide receiver. He should take over a second wide receiver role.
Yeah, I mean,
filling in.
If he can get, let's say 75, 80% of the work that we saw Stephon Diggs get last year, I think Justin Jefferson in the 14th round or the 13th round is going to be one of the best values in this mock.
And a little bit before that, Kyle took Dallas Goedert, 153rd overall, which I'm a big Goddard fan myself. I'm just, if Carson Wentz isn't in there, it's another one of the, it's kind of my same scenario with the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger getting hit. If Carson Wentz gets hurt, he played
the whole year last year with really not much around him. They still, somebody took Kansas City, which is who I've been taking in like every draft year.
Yeah, that was
Matt
me.
Stolen from you.
I went with Kansas City. I wasn't looking at the DSTs until about 3 seconds before my pick. And I don't like Minnesota this year because of the turnover in the defensive backfield. The Rams defense has not really been all that great for the past couple of years. So the Chiefs really turned it around last year as far as their rushing defense goes. They really they were horrible against tight ends in 2018. And then last year they weren't all that bad. So hopefully they can continue that trajectory and become one of the better defenses in the league.
Yeah. After the change to the 4-3 actually had time to take place, like you were saying, over the second half of last year, they were one of the league's best fantasy defense, real life and fantasy defenses. So I settled with Denver, who kind of like what we were talking about with the Chargers, just has one hell of a pass rush. We were also talking about the AFC West having more weapons. Part of that is the Broncos should hopefully score more points. be in games. Vic Fangio's a pretty decent coach for the defensive side of the ball. That's why they hired him. So they're one of my other favorite long shots. I really picked them just to talk about them. It's hard to pass on New England. Even with the opt-outs, they're still going to be a pretty solid team. They still have Stephon Gilmore, which is what their whole defensive scheme is based around. So,
right. You'd like to think that if you just avoid that side of the field, offenses wouldn't have too much of a problem, but you have to go over there eventually, you'd like to think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what they want you to do. They want to force you to the other side of the field where they shadow their additional coverage that way to mess you up. But, I mean, it's Bill Belichick. I think he'll figure it out.
And plus, the Patriots play in the division where they have 3 young quarterbacks or, Ryan Fitzpatrick. So there should be plenty of chances for turnovers from that New England defense.
Sure seems like that should be
the Josh Allen and Ryan Fitzpatrick 6 times. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
And that's actually pretty funny. I said Strikeout Beer was calling out Brandon. He actually called himself out. He said him picking a defense. He was calling himself out for that, which is interesting to say the least. My last 2 picks, I don't know. This guy's name was said a little bit last year. I don't know how much of a leap he can make this year, but we're going to go ahead and try out Justin Jackson, running back for the Chargers. And then, of course, we only have 1 pick left. Oh, boy. Just because, I don't think I picked one Seattle Seahawk. We got to throw it in there. My only Seattle Seahawk I drafted, Jason Myers, kicker. Which in a real draft, I would probably not touch him with a 7-foot pole. But just because we're here to have some fun, that's who I took for my very last pick. Nice. I'm happy with my team so far. I don't hate it. Kip took Baker Mayfield 170th overall. Fred took Matt Prater, which is who I probably would have taken in a real draft. Matt Prater was up next. Ryan took Brandon McManus for his kicker. It's not a terrible option, especially when you're kicking in Denver. It's a little bit easier to hit those long ones. Let's see what Kyle pulls out. No, he's just going straight to Younghoe Koo.
Younghoe Koo.
For Atlanta. What a fun name. We're almost out here. We got Steve and then Matt's last pick and then some guy named KC. And we're out of here.
8:02. Perfect timing.
Right? That's what I was thinking, man. I mean, if we're going to have to kill this, I wanted to do like a mock draft review with our grades, but maybe we can hit that up next week. We can recap that on Thursday, maybe. If you guys just want to send me your grades.
So the projections don't like me. And Yahoo's projections don't have any points projected for Cam Newton, so they don't like Matt either.
Oh, boy.
Oh, great. Well, as we established earlier, Yahoo kind of sucks, so I'm not all that worried.
Very true. Very true. All right. Well, that's
league management to ESPN, but their analysis portion isn't up to par.
Yeah.
I agree. I prefer ESPN, but I was voted out for this league to run it through Yahoo, so that's why we're at where we're at, unfortunately. But I mean that's our show. We appreciate anyone that was in the mock draft for joining us. That includes Ryan and Brandon, and then obviously Matt and Kyle for joining us live on the show to do the mock draft. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you very, very much.
Thanks for having me.
And we got the Kickin' or Stickin' Fantasy Football Podcast for Matt.
Yes, sir. Thursday night's a release, Friday at 6 o'clock on the RTF network. Check us out. We'll be getting into a lot of the gambling prop bet stuff this season. Very excited about it.
Awesome. So check that out. And then Kyle, he's just here for fun.
For fun. I actually am launching my own website. Fantasy blog website. It'll be up later this week. So I'll send you that link that you can send out to the community.
Nice.
What I've been working
on.
My furlough from work. So
nice.
Outstanding. All righty. Well, thank you again. We don't have a send-off still, so thank you very much. And as we say, go Hawks and
go Bills.